Welcome to ET English, the unique English language learning feature of Education Times. This recording is brought to you by Panthea Gunathilaka, the founder of Cleon, Academy for Speech, Drama and Leadership. The Education Times comes to you every week with the Sunday Times, a leading publication of Vijaya Newspapers Limited. ET English introduces a unique way of learning English through stories. It has a short novel and also a picture story, both of which are being published in episodes every week. All the lessons and activities that are given in the feature are from these two stories. Many English scholars accept that when you learn a language through stories, you remember them better. Further, the picture story will complement this by adding the visual component as well, where it will help the readers create vivid images in their minds, helping them remember those dialogues and the words through these incidents. Now we're going to bring the audio version of this feature, where you can listen to the stories and the lessons. First the picture story, secondly the novel, and finally the lessons. The short stories are taken from the book The Mirror of Paradise by Asghar Hussain, and beginning with the new picture story I, Jenners, writer Ranjit Gunaratne. To get the best out of this feature, we suggest that you get a copy of the Education Times and also a dictionary. Also, it will help if you read the feature once or twice on your own. At the same time, try to get the correct pronunciation by listening to audio attentively and repeatedly and trying to read it after every dialogue, emulating the voices that you hear. We shall start now. We bring you I, Jenners, episode 19. Writer Ranjit Gunaratne. Illustrations by Anton B. Pereira. Do you know why I sent for you, Dilki? No, ma'am. I guess. Like I said at the assembly this morning, I really admire your achievements and the good publicity they bring. But, ma'am, I can't tolerate when my students bring bad publicity. Do you know how many calls I already got regarding your Facebook adventure? I did not post that photo, ma'am, and I don't know who did. However, it was you in the photo, wasn't it? Now tell me, why you posed for a photo in your swimsuit with a boy? Ma'am, it happened like this. I told her that I was not alone with Hans, that Nimali, Reshan and others were also there.
Social media is not about the truth. It's about what people believe or are led to believe.
I'm going to delete my FB account.
No, dear. Running away from a problem won't solve it. Post a photo you took with the whole team and tag everybody, including us.
And explain that your account has been hacked and the police are investigating it.
Hans, we found out the location of the hacker.
Oh wow! Have you arrested the guy?
We bring you the short story A Good Medical Boy, Episode 29. The writer, Asghar Hussain, taken from the book The Mirror of Paradise. Mrs. Dissanayake informed us that they were preparing a nice, spicy meal, but added that she wouldn't be able to enjoy it as she had a stomach ulcer. Then Rajpal recalled our notes and began to talk about ulcers. I grew anxious, but he somehow got most of the details right. A short while later, Mr. Dissanayake felt obliged to tell us how well connected they were. He narrated a convoluted series of events, each somehow linked to the other, where prominent names were dropped with disturbing regularity. Many of them happened to be related to him in one way or another. A look of irritation crossed Rajpal's face, and had it not been for the certainty of getting thrown out, I'm sure he would have pointed at the fish in the tank and asked, "Are they also relatives?" Anyway, Mrs. Dissanayake soon managed to get the conversation back to her daughter.
Activity 1. Read the picture story and match the language functions with their examples. Language function. The first one, identifying a location. The second one, expressing appreciation. The third one, warning. The fourth one, explaining. The fifth one, asking for information. Examples. A. Do you know why I sent for you, Dilke? B. But I can't tolerate when my students bring bad publicity. C. I did not post that photo, ma'am, and I don't know who did. D. Hans, we found out the location of the hacker. E. I really admire your achievements and the good publicity they bring. Activity 2. Underline the correct contextual reference. The first one, Mrs. Dissanayake informed us that they were preparing a nice spicy meal. The second one, she added that she wouldn't be able to enjoy the lunch as she had a stomach ulcer. The third one, when Rajpal began to talk about ulcers, Rajpal's friend grew anxious. The fourth one, a convoluted series of events means a complicated series of events. The fifth one, when Mr. Dissanayake narrated a convoluted series of events related to him, a look of anger crossed Rajpal's face. Activity 3. Read the text and match the questions in column A with the appropriate responses in column B. The first one, why wouldn't Mrs. Dissanayake be able to enjoy the spicy meal? D. Because she had a stomach ulcer. The second one, after recalling their notes, what did Rajpal do? A. He began to talk about ulcers. The third one, what did Mr. Dissanayake narrate? B. He narrated a convoluted series of events. The fourth one, what type of look went across Rajpal's face? E. a look of irritation. The fifth one, what did Mrs. Dissanayake manage to do? C. Mrs. Dissanayake soon managed to get the conversation back to her daughter. Activity 4. Grammar focus. Let's make some compound sentences using the context of the text. A compound sentence is a sentence with two or more independent clauses joined by conjunctions like, and, but, etc. Read the sentences given below, identify the coordinating conjunction, and write the independent clauses separately. The first one, Mrs. Dissanayake informed us of a nice spicy meal, but she wouldn't enjoy it. The second one, Rajpal recalled our notes and began to talk about ulcers. The third one, I grew anxious, but he somehow got most of the details right. The fourth one, a look of irritation crossed Rajpal's face and he became very anxious. The fifth one, Mr. Dissanayake narrated a convoluted series of events and each event was linked to each other.
Let's take a look at the word bank, the last section of the activity time for lesson 29. We have 12 words today. The first word is admire, means to respect somebody for what they have done or to respect their qualities. The second one, achievement, a thing that somebody has done successfully, especially using their own effort and skill. Tolerate is the third word, which means to allow somebody to do something that you would not agree with or like. The fourth word is solve, which means to find a way of dealing with a problem or difficult situation. The fifth word is including, which means having something as a part of a group or set. The next word is prominent, which means important or well known. The seventh word, ulcer, means a sore area on the outside of the body or on the surface of an organ inside the body. Eighth one, obliged, meaning being compelled or inclined to do something for somebody due to a previous commitment. Narrate is the next word, and narrate means to tell a story. The 10th word, cross one's mind. This is an idiom, and this means to come into one's mind. The 11th word, convoluted, which means extremely complicated and difficult to follow. The 12th and the last word for today, irritation, which means the state of being annoyed, especially by something that somebody continuously does. With that, we wrap up the activity session. Dear listeners, thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our recordings. You're welcome to give us your feedback and suggestions on the phone numbers and the email address given in the ET English feature in the Education Time section. We meet again next week. The recording was brought to you by Panthea Gunathilaka, the founder of Cleon Academy for Speech, Drama and Leadership. Until then, goodbye and happy learning.